Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. That song has been stuck in my head. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Put on your Sunday clothes. Sorry, literally, that song has been stuck in my head all day. What's going on, guys? Disney Dan here. Welcome back into the channel, and welcome to our Disney movie review of this little guy, Wally. This is our first Pixar review, which I'm really, really excited about. And it's only taken us 20 episodes.
I can't believe it's been 20 episodes.
20 episodes, 20 movies were reviewed, and it's our first Pixar film. I find that crazy. We reviewed 20 movies, and this is our first Pixar one. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Let's just quickly see who's in the chat. We've got the wonderful, incredible James Ryan. Good to see you, pal. A great member of the channel and the community. He's just a great guy. And the wonderful Wendy Liu, who another great member. Thank you for being here. And we've got the incredible Samantha Lowe, who is here. And don't forget, Dana is live right now, cooking with Dana, dinners with Dana. So yeah, go check out Dana. She's absolutely amazing. Alex, filmmaker, Alex Brunner, great to see you.
Hey, Alex.
Welcome into the stream. I'm excited, Walt. When I pulled this one last week, I was so excited. I don't know about you, but I was really excited about this review.
Well, I wasn't. I'll tell you that.
I know. I could tell from your facial expression.
Right. I wasn't excited about it, but as we get into the movie, I'll tell you why. A few more people popped in, Dan.
We got Sir Fun. Welcome into the stream, buddy. Great to have you here. My buddy, Jack Jones. Great to see you. What's up, buddy? We got the incredible Carlos Disney World Freak. Great to see you, pal. Thank you for being such an awesome member of the channel. It's Sir Joey, Sir Keith, and Lady Lisa. It's Joey's World. Welcome into the stream. And another member, Kirsty Clark.
Kirsty, welcome
into the stream, Kirsty. Great to have you here.
Great.
So, see, I was excited about this. But I remember when I pulled that one last week, you weren't like too happy. Well, I'm not too happy, but you were just a bit like, oh gosh, there we go. It just says, it's a cushion. Come on. We've already discussed, guys, off the wall later on. Paging with tomorrow as the guest. It's going to be fun. Check out Pete McDevitt and the incredible R. Johns. What's up,
Richard,
buddy? So good. The legend himself is here. Thank you for being here. Now, I heard that Dana asked you to sing or something. I don't know. No, asked Richard to sing. So
that'd be awesome.
I'd love to hear that. Thank you for being here, buddy. Hope you're well. Yeah, you weren't too pleased.
Okay, so I've only seen Wall-E one time.
Right.
I saw it in the movie theaters when it came out originally. I have not seen it since. So I'll give you an inclination of what I thought of it the first time I saw it.
Okay.
Now, whether or not that has changed, we're going to talk about it.
Yeah, so I actually saw this film. I remember watching it way back when it came out in 2008. Bearing in mind, 2008 was a great year of film. The Dark Knight, Iron Man, and Wall-E. I thought that was fantastic. And this other film called Twilight, which horrible. That came out in 2008. But
hey, Blaine.
Hey, Blaine, what's going on? Really Creative Travel. Great to have you here. Welcome in. I watched this earlier in the year this year. When I know I'm not supposed to be telling you this, but it was like the last week of school and it was the last week of teaching. And we're like, right, it's the last day of school. Let's just watch a movie with the class. We watched Wall-E. And I was pretty much the only one watching it while all the kids were like playing in the playground. I was just like, this is so great. I'm so excited. This is fun. And when I found out we pulled Wall-E this week, I was like, yeah, I get to rewatch Wall-E again. And I was excited. I was really excited. So this film, 2008, it won a couple of Academy Awards, a couple of BAFTAs. It won Best Animated Film, I think, of the year.
What went up against it, though?
What went up against it? Shrek? No.
I don't remember. I'll have to look it up.
Wall-E is one of my
favorite competition.
Wall-E is one of my favorite Pixar movies. I would say Wall-E. I think Wall-E. A lot of people, I think, either love Wall-E or they not so much. So I think we'll have to. I think this might be a review where we might have differences of opinions. So it's going to be interesting. Noah, great to see you. Noah's Adventures.
What's up,
Welcome
Noah?
in, buddy. Happy that you're here. Thank you for being here. So the movie begins with a wonderful song, Put On Your Sunday Clothes, which is actually a song that you hear walking down Main Street at Walt Disney World in Magic Kingdom or in Disneyland. I love that sort of like homage to that. What's up, Mr. Fulton? Welcome into the stream, another member of the channel. Noah says, I love Wally. We need to replace Mission Space with a genius. Genius. I love it. I love it, Noah. And I love sort of how this movie opens. For the first 35 minutes, there is no speaking whatsoever, or very, very little speaking. There is... That song is going to be in my head all week. There's barely any speaking at all in the first 35 minutes, which I think is what Pixar's really good at. They're like, go all these different creative animated ideas. Jonathan Chong, welcome into the stream. Great to see you. And Geeking Out with Melly Mel. Thank you for being here. Mel was on my stream yesterday for Disney Fiasco. Thank you for being here, Mel. And go check out Mel's channel. And Melissa is here. Welcome in, Melissa. Welcome into the stream.
So let me say this. You talked about the first 35 minutes of no talking.
Yes.
This is my first opportunity where the movie could have been a little different.
Okay.
35 minutes is a little too long for that. I get the point. Okay. I got it. I did. After about 20 minutes, I'm like, let's move on. To me, Wall-E is slow.
Okay.
Okay. I think some of the scenes and some of the...
You mean the movie, not the actual robot himself?
No, the movie. Yes, the movie is exactly that.
What's up, Sean?
What's up, Sean? I just think that they could have taken 35 minutes and condensed it to about 20. I get the point of what they're saying. I got it. I did.
Right. Kirsty says, off to bed, guys. Had a really rough day. Oh, I hope everything gets better soon, Kirsty. Have a great stream.
Take care, dear.
I'll also never seen Wally. Well, you got to go and watch it.
Yes. I do recommend. We say this every week, and whether you like it or not, make your own decision. Go watch the movie. I think you should.
Right. So I think in terms of the first 35 minutes, I really love the idea that there's not a lot of talking, because how many films do we have that has barely any talking, and they're just using their acting or their gestures just to express what they're doing. I love the fact that Wally can look at his TV screen and pretend to dance with a tin can, and he is so fascinated by everything around him. I mean, just all the things that he comes across. I love all those funny scenes where he like sees the jewelry box inside, he sees the really shiny ring, throws the ring away, and then like plays with the box. I love those kind of things.
No, and it's not that I don't like the idea of the concept of that beginning makes perfect sense. I understand it. It's the beginning of the movie. It's setting the stage for everything that happens later. I understand it. For me, it's just a little too long for that. Look, there's another movie that comes to mind when there's not a lot of talking in the very beginning. As a matter of fact, there's not a lot of talking throughout the whole entire movie, and I think it's one of the best movies I've ever seen, is I Am Legend with Will Smith.
Okay.
His acting ability carries the movie, okay? It's him and the dog throughout most of the movie. Pretty much the entire movie. But it's really, really good, and if you've ever read the book, too. But I just think it was a little too long for me. I loved Wall-E. Look, Wall-E felt like a person. That's who he reminded you of. He feels human. He acts human. He has reactions like a human does.
I think you're the first person in human history who's ever compared Wall-E to I Am Legend. But I love the whole setting. I love the fact that this is what our planet could look like if we don't look after it. And that's kind of like the message of this movie. And for me, this is the perfect love story. I think this is such a beautiful love story between Wall-E and Eve that things just, he just wants to be with somebody. He's alone on the planet. All of his friends have died out. They've run out of battery, or they've broken down. They can't really do anything about that, and he's just living his life in his big sort of metal box with all the nostalgic things that he comes across. A Rubik's cube. I love the fact where he finds a spork and he doesn't know which thing to put in.
It's phenomenal.
It's great.
Oh yeah.
And I love his little cricket friend, which I feel like there needs to be a crossover.
That was a roach, by the way. That's not a cricket.
A roach. I feel like there needs to be a crossover with A Bug's Life. I don't know about you. It could be like Heimlich's long lost brother or something. I don't know. Molly Rook, welcome into the stream. Molly Rook, good to see you. And it's kind of just I love the fact that Wally, you're right, with that human characteristics that he is trying to person to us. And I love all the niche things when he's powering up in the morning. He's like a teenager trying to get out of bed. And when he does the solar panels and it's like the opening of a computer, I love all those sort of nitpicks, which I really love. Pamela Hoffman, welcome into the stream.
Welcome in, Pamela. Well, he definitely, the whole point of his character is to make him relatable to humans, and they make him almost human-like in a lot of ways. He's got a lot of human qualities. He's endearing. Don't get me wrong. I love his character. I love the beginning of the movie with all those little parts to it. I just think there's certain aspects of it that could have been kind of edited a little bit to bring it down just a tad. That's all.
Okay.
But I like the concept of it. It's just the length of it. I got the point after 20 minutes. I didn't need 35 of it. Because you're right. It goes for a while before we even get any sort of...
I think you're right. I think this film, there's not so much a progression of the story. It's pretty much 3 acts. Like the first act is on Earth. The second act, it's sort of in the Axiom, trying to sort of get Eve back to, working together. And then the final act of, trying to get the plant in the thing. We'll get there. We're not rushing ahead. So he comes with Wally's curiosity. He finds this red shining dot near his home, and being curious, he starts to chase this red shiny dot all over the city, and he realizes that something's not right. He looks up and there's huge engines, like spaceship engines, are powering underneath him, and he's trying to hide, and we finally get introduced to Eve, and she's doing some sort of searching. We learn that she's a probe robot. Cynthia, great to see another member of the channel. Thank you for being here, my friend. Hope you are well. She goes, I can't stand Wally. And she goes around sort of trying to find something. Wally is, he's just being Wally. He actually sees someone for the first time in I don't know how long. And he just tries and gets that sort of, he gets that vibe from her. Like, she's like, oh, like, I'm interested. He fancies her. I mean, some of the best scenes is when he's at the top of the supermarket and he gets startled and he falls down the stairs and tries to get to and all the shopping carts crash into him at the end.
That was funny.
It was great. I love it. And all he wants to do is to, hold hands with Eve. And they sort of get to know each other and sort of want to sort of just eat. We're trying to, what is Eve looking for? And then the sandstorm comes about and she comes into Wally's home. Now, I love this. It's like bringing your date home for the first time, showing her all the stuff. Like for me, showing all my nerdy stuff, all my Disney Star Wars stuff. It's great. I love the light bulb. I love the lighter. The lighter becomes really, well, not really important, but it's some sort of symbolism.
It's a connection for the two of them.
It's a connection. That Wally starts dancing, and then she tries to dance and starts to, wreck everything. The real DJ Fruit Loops. Welcome into the stream. That's a great
name. Good name.
Wendy says, I can't remember when I last saw this movie. And some of these singers I really did forget for when I watched it the first time. I probably agree with you. And then Wally shows Eve the plant that he found while finding the bras and the whatever the Rubik's
during his
Cube.
exploring, because when he's not working, he's kind of exploring everything and finding little trinkets here and there that interest him that he wants to keep. And during that process, he opened up, I think it was a refrigerator or something, and inside of it was
a plant.
Life is what I'll say. It was life, because life on Earth is basically the entire plot of this movie.
Yep.
Okay? Because at this point, what we're supposed to expect or understand is that Earth is devoid of life. There is no life on this planet anymore. It's unlivable.
And all the humans went up into space. That's kind of
right. And everybody's gone. They've all been up in space for several.
It was 700 years.
Hundreds of years. And we'll get to them. But he found basically a plant. He found a flower, a plant, whatever you want to call it. He found life. He doesn't know that, but that's what he found. He just thinks, oh, it's something pretty. I'm going to keep it. And he does. He puts it in the shoe. He takes it back to his place. And Dan's right. He shows Eve because he wants to impress her. But guess what? That's why she's there.
Yeah. That's what she's looking for. And she actually takes...
She's a probe droid, and she's probing to find life.
She takes control of this plant. She puts it inside her, and then she pretty much shuts down. And Eve's like... And Wally's like, what's going on? Like, you know, it's. I feel like it's kind of a scary part of the film because, I don't know, it's a sort of a strange feeling that, you know, someone just... It's almost like she becomes unconscious. And she just... you know, Wally is doing all his, you know, tricks. One of my favorite bits is when he's trying to hold her hand, and then her hand shuts on him, and he's just like, I can't get my hand out.
I like when he tries to put the umbrella to keep her out of the rain, and he gets electrocuted twice.
It's fantastic, and he then gets on with his normal day, and we find that, you know, Eva gets collected. She gets collected by another spaceship.
And basically, what's happening is her shutdown is her connection to the mothership, so to speak, to come get her. She wasn't the only probe droid that got off into Earth, if I remember. I thought several of them went off in different directions. Maybe it was just her.
It was just one.
It was just one, but they did have more because you see them later.
Yeah, you see them later.
All right, so they come and collect her to take her back to the Axiom, which is the name of the ship, to let them know, guess what? There is life again. Earth is livable again.
Yeah. Paula Rainwaters, welcome into the stream. Hello, guys. We watched the movie yesterday, and that's what I love about this, is when we watch films, everybody in the chat, you know, if you want to watch these films, we can discuss it all together. It's absolutely amazing. Avery, the Cuban American, good to see you, buddy. Hope you're well, bud. Sylvia says, James, I heard of this Walt character. He sings, I hear.
Talking about me.
I do want to mention, though, I love the music in this movie. I think the music in this film is a third character in of itself. I really, really love it. Not just the Hello Dolly music, but just all the other music that's used in this film. We'll get to the space scene soon. So Wally, you know, grabs onto this rocket, leaves Earth. His cockroach is left behind, and he's off to do A Bug's Life 2. And Wally is now on almost like a rescue mission. Isaac Nail, welcome into the stream. Sir Isaac Nail.
We knighted him today, Dan, without your consent. Sorry, but
you knighted him too?
He's now Sir Isaac Nail.
Sir Isaac Nail, welcome into the stream, buddy. Wendy says, so it's a love story mixed with conservation. Yeah, you know. That's kind of what it is. Courtney Rainwaters is here. Welcome into the and Timothy Rainwaters is here. Great to see you. We're only missing Keely, but you know what? I'll take 3 out of the 4 Rainwaters. If Keely's 75%, 75%, that's amazing. Keely's around, feel free to pop in. Pam says, fun fact, Wally and R2D2 are played by the same actor. I did not know that.
I didn't know that either.
That's pretty cool. So Wally's off in space. He's on the rescue mission. He's trying to, you know, see what happened to Eve. And they get to the mothership, like you said, the Axiom. And I don't know about you, I love the little cleaning droid. It's like foreign contaminant, and he's like
foreign contaminant. Hey, Brandy, welcome in.
Hey Brandy, good to see you. Welcome into the stream. Hope you're doing well, my friend. I love the foreign contaminant droid where he's like, and he's pretty much doing that the whole movie.
It reminds me of in Nemo, the one that goes bubbles, bubbles, bubbles. The one always has to clean.
Oh, that's great. So, so they end up on the Axiom, and then we find out what this spaceship is pretty much all. It's pretty much a big, giant cruise line in space, and all of mankind are now on this spaceship in these big floaty chairs. And let's just say the humans have become DIZNEYDAN size. They have they've had way too many Sonar bread services. And they pretty much live their lives in these chairs. They don't even eat. They drink their calories, which I think is kind of cool. But I mean, who wouldn't want to love like a juicy steak and ice cream? But if they have it in a cup, okay, that's cool. And this is pretty much what mankind has come to. You know, we're now in space. What can we do? We're just going to sit in chairs and drink our calories and play, you know, tennis by flicking our finger. Like, that's the whole thing. Disney buffers, welcome into the stream, guys. Welcome in.
Let me say something, isn't it? Well, let me get serious for a second. What's really interesting about this part of the movie is how incredibly close to real life, if you really think about it, this part of the movie is.
Scary, isn't it?
People will try to think for you. They really, really will. They will try to get you to do what they want, when they want, and you do nothing. You know, you can get your groceries delivered to your house now. You can do this, you can do that without having to leave the comfort of your home. Everything's about how easy it is, not having to do this, not having to do that. It's worrisome from time to time.
Exactly.
I think this movie takes it to the 10th degree, obviously.
Yeah, you know, way over-exaggerated.
But the problem is, with this film, they don't even think for themselves. If you listen really closely to what the captain says when he says it, you can tell he doesn't even think for himself anymore.
We got
Auto thinks for him.
We got Simba 2, welcome into the stream. And we've done it, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we've got the fourth member of the Rainwaters here. Keely, welcome into the stream. I won the lottery. Welcome into the stream. Got all the Rainwaters here. Welcome in. The wonderful Rainwaters. We finally get introduced to the captain of the Axiom of this cruise line spaceship called Captain McCree or something. I love
according to IMDb, his name is Captain. That's it.
I love his introduction. I really, really do. He wakes up at 12 o'clock or something. At this point, Wally is actually with Eve in the captain's sort of headquarters, and he's having his morning coffee. He's having robots brush his teeth. You know, have a shave. Like, robots are doing everything for him. Like you said, like almost like we can't do anything for ourselves. And then he does all the morning checks. You know, he does this, that, and the other, and whatever. And my favorite when they do the you know, trying to get the coffee when he's trying to lean back up on his chair. Fantastic, great stuff.
It is. It just it's so real life. I mean, it's like, dude,
it's crazy.
Just walk over to it. It's like people.
We'll get there, won't we?
Look, Melissa says it to me. Where's the remote? Where's the remote? Just get up and change the channel.
It is crazy.
A lot of correlation.
And we find so this is a plot hole. He says, like, welcome to 700 days on the Axiom, whatever it is. But he wakes up in the afternoon, so he has reverted back time to the morning. So how many days has he actually reverted back? Is it actually 700 days? Or does it keeps going back because he's missed a couple of hours because he's overslept? So how many days really have they been on the Axiom if he keeps oversleeping? That's my question.
Well, they say it though. They've been on the Axiom
For a long
because
time.
when we get to the end, they talk about it. They say, well, I don't want to spoil it, but they do say how long they've been on that ship. They've been on that ship for hundreds of years.
Well, they talked about their generations, their ancestry.
Well, they show all the different captains over the generations and how they've gotten heavier and heavier and heavier, because there is a plot to, there is an end game here, no pun intended, as to what they want done. They don't want the humans thinking for themselves. They don't want them doing anything. The ship wants to do everything.
Right. So Eve has been sort of tested positive for having this plant, right? This life form that we found on Earth. And the captain has pressed the green button saying, right, this is it. We can go back home. And Eve opens up her body, and the plant is gone. And she finds that Wally is there. She's trying to see if Wally has it. Wally doesn't have it. And then it kind of is like, it's like, it's just a false alarm. Like, back to normal, back to another day on the Axiom. That's it. So everything goes back to normal. And they send them to rehabilitation, or
basically they're going to reset her and have her memory wiped ultimately. Yes.
Which is one of my funniest scenes, I think, in the movie, where Wally is sitting in sort of his compartment and he looks into decontamination, and basically Eve is getting sort of like being checked over by the robot doctor, whatever, and he's pulling like the arm off and like giving her a head massage and everything, but it looks like they're ripping her head off so through the wall, and it's just a really entertaining scene. And Wally's sort of getting concerned, and they escape with all these rogue robots, all the robots that have gone sort of bad, and they escape, and they kind of become sort of fugitives on the run, almost like. I think it's a fun sort of start.
Well, right, but let's take a step back. There's a reason why they're considered fugitives. See, like Dan said, they lost the flower or whatever it is growing, the life from the planet. The reason why they want it is because the whole point is they're on the Axiom until they can find life again somewhere, a planet where they can that can be livable. So her coming back to Earth, finding that, taking it back to the Axiom, is supposed to be her way of showing them we can live on Earth again. It's livable again. So when they found this life form, it's supposed to trigger the ship and the captain to say, great, we can go back now. Let's go back to Earth, and we'll basically start over, but we're going to start over. Well, they lose the flower. Or did they lose the flower?
Maybe. We got Carol Karki. Welcome into the stream. Welcome.
Did they lose it, or was it taken?
So basically, with everything going on, Eve just wants to send Wally home. So they go to this escape pod, and Wally's just like, come on, we're gonna go home, we're gonna live our lives, just spend our lives on Earth. And Eve's like, no, you're going, I'm staying, we're gonna sort this thing out. And Wally's like, no, I'm not having any of that. And basically what happens is one of the robots in the captain's quarter, sort of the second in command robot, has Otto is the...
No, Otto's the main one. He's the main one.
Yeah, the second one in command.
Yes.
Has the plant, and this is just a small droid, small little robot. We've got Adam from Adam's Land. What's up, buddy?
Up, Adam?
Great to have you here, bud. He has the plant, and I'm assuming he's acting on behalf of somebody, and he puts it in the escape pod, and he's like, right, I'm going to send it back to Earth, and we don't have to talk about this ever again because there's some sort of plot behind the scene. Wally sees this, he goes into the escape pod, and he goes like, hey, here it is, and they pretty much, the escape pod shoots off. Now, what the little droid did, that sort of escape pod was meant to self-destruct. So blow up the plant, no evidence, it's all gone. and Wally's
Things stay
inside.
the way they are.
Right. So now Eve is on the sort of rescue mission of Wally because, we need to get this plant back. And then the big explosion happens. Wally ends up with a fire extinguisher and gets hold of the plant, and they have, I think, one of the best scenes in the movie, in my personal opinion. In the meantime, the captain is sort of researching about Earth, and he talks about, what's a hoedown, what's food, what's plants, what's dancing.
But see, this is the part of the movie to me that's probably my favorite part of the movie, and it's also the saddest part. One of the saddest parts of the movie is they've allowed themselves to forget. Okay, which is exactly what the ship wants. Over the generations, and it's so apropos to today's world, they have allowed themselves to forget. They don't even know what dancing is anymore. They don't even know what this is, what that is, what normal things that we take for granted. They don't even know what they are because they have allowed themselves to forget, because they don't think for themselves. They allow the ship to do it for them. And it's a really apropos scene. It's a very interesting scene.
It's a very interesting scene.
It's smart. It's very smart. And
we
sad
talk,
in a lot of ways.
And we've spoken about previously on our review shows about those commercial scenes that they put in their commercials, right? Those scenes that they put in their commercials. And this scene is, you'll see it in Pixar commercials where Wally and Eve are dancing through space, Eve just flying and Wally with the fire extinguisher doing those twirls. It is a stunning scene. It really, really is. It just shows their sort of connection. It shows that they're sort of really building some sort of relationship with each other, trust. And I think it's almost like a couple's first dance, I would say, at a first date or whatever it is. Adam says it's 2020. I don't know what dancing is anymore. Timothy Rainwaters, I didn't know we had a pool.
It's true, but that's my point is and what's funny but sad about that is the entire time the main area where they are is basically where the pool is, and they don't even see it right in front of their faces because they're so programmed to do nothing.
Wired in, yeah.
It's crazy.
It's a take on ourselves and technology that overtakes us and destroys the environment of Earth. And this is kind of like the message of the movie. I really do. Bob from One Stop Mouse. What's up, pal? Good to have you here. Welcome into the stream. But I love this scene with Wally. I love the two humans who are sort of unplugged from. It's like the Matrix when they're unplugged.
Almost. They are kind of unplugged. They kind of get that jolt from Wally when they look out into
they say, "Oh, hi, Wally," and they hold hands and
accidentally, but it does kind of trigger something inside. From there, they start to think for themselves.
So we've compared Wally to I Am Legend, The Matrix. Well, let's see more any comparisons else that we.
But there are correlations. That's the thing. There are correlations. That's what's really interesting.
It's absolutely true. I mean, I think what you could take away from this film, we'll talk about this near the end, but if you can go like a day without looking at your smartphone or going on the internet, you'll see life in a completely different way. I think that's kind of like the whole purpose of this film.
Dan, as someone who's going to be 50 years old, I lived in a world where we didn't have this thing right here, or this thing right here. And guess what we had to do? We had to talk.
I know.
I lived in it. Bob has lived in it. James has lived in it. We've all lived in it. It's interesting.
I am old enough to remember.
Really touches on a lot.
I am old enough to remember I didn't have this when I was younger.
Right.
I'm not. I know I have my birthday.
But computer's been around for a while though.
But they weren't like you had to do the whole like dial-up thing.
Yeah, the dial-up,
which took like 20 years. So where did all the children come from? Clones? No, that's Star Wars.
I agree. I don't even. It's really ultimately not. I get it, Timothy, but it's not an important aspect of the movie. It's just one of those plot holes. It's a definite plot hole. I mean, because if they don't do anything, they don't do anything. if you know what I mean.
Nope.
That's exercise. So anyway, they don't exercise.
They don't
Anyway,
exercise.
moving on.
Moving on. So, they get back into the axiom, and Eve goes right back up to the captain's quarters, where they see RobFuz. Hey,
RobFuz.
good
RobFuz
to see you. Go check out
Rob's the bad guy in this movie.
my partner channel. Great to see you. What's up, buddy? My least favorite Pixar movie, bar none. What? He really is the bad guy.
Rob, stick around. We haven't gotten to my review yet.
Zero exercise. James Ryan says, we talked, we had dial phones, one per house, and television went off the air at midnight. We also spent out of doors and read books and papers.
We spent time outdoors. Yes, we did.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
and read books and paper. Dude, let me just say this. I think everybody says this. We grew up in a good time.
You mean a good time? Sorry.
Good time. We really did. I agree. We played outside. We had neighborhoods.
Right. So, basically, Eve shows the plant to the captain, but this is where we get the bad side turn from the AI. Now we can compare the wheel, the Otto, the autopilot, to 2001: A Space Odyssey AI. Hal, right? Which
and there's actually correlation there too, because what's he got in the middle? He's got a red dot.
Red dot. There's so many, and I think that was an actual homage that they wanted in the film.
I think so.
And Otto is the main. We find that he's the main villain. He's the kind of, but he's not so much the villain. He's just following orders from the president that was set from the video that was given to him. The video was.
Well, what's his downfall?
That they can't think like a human.
Right. What was true 700 years ago isn't necessarily still true. That's where they can't rationalize. They can't reason.
Evidence of the plant, like things have changed.
Exactly. Right. He has his directive. Don't come back to Earth. Period. And it ends there with him. There is no rationalization or any kind of thought process. So he's really kind of a victim of his own prison, where he also doesn't think, because he's not thinking for himself, to think, well, maybe after 700 years, because that's how long they've been on the axiom, that maybe life has come back. And it really has.
Right. He says, great show, gotta go prep. Night, gentlemen, and the pillow that I am now calling Bob.
Pete.
Okay, guys, go check out Pete Medeva's channel, Off the Wall Tonight, with my buddy Nate from Paging Mr. Morrow. It's going to be a lot of fun, and please go check that out. It's going to be a lot of fun. So how Otto is sort of the villain. He's the one who told his sort of second in command, little droid, whatever it is, to destroy pretty much the plant in the escape pod. And pretty much what happens is they throw the plant down sort of the rubbish chute, the trash chute, and Wally actually catches it, but gets sort of tased, electrocuted by Otto, and they both sort of fall into sort of the waste disposal chute down into
what
sort
a waste.
What a waste. Down sort of to the garbage dump with all these big Wally droids and whatever. And Wally's pretty much destroyed almost, and it's a real sad moment. It was a heartfelt moment. It really did, because look, Wally's just a nice droid. He's a nice guy, and he means well. He's a bit clumsy. He's like Goofy. He means well, but he's just a bit clumsy.
Right, but remember, once they think, because the ship thinks, okay, we're going back now, because it starts to open up the one area where they need to put the plant in, so the plant gets in there.
Go and put the plant into where the
because that'll be the starter, the catapult, so to speak, for the ship to turn around and go back to Earth. Well, the bad guys, the Otto and the other one, basically don't want that to happen. So they're fighting with Eve, and they're fighting with Wally, and they kind of get the upper hand. And what they needed opened up to put the plan in is now starting to close.
Yeah.
And once it closes, it won't reopen again. So Wally's over there, and he tries to hold it open just long enough so that they can get the plant inside. And that's when he gets.
Candy Mom says, "Can I pick the next movie if you want?" Rob really does not like this movie.
Okay.
Rob, here's my suggestion. Just make sure you hit the like button, and then just as long as you do that, that's pretty cool. Kay Atwood, welcome into the stream. Thank you for being here.
Stay, Rob. Stay
here. So I think leading up to this, the captain does sort of a lockdown. So everything is sort of all the commercialism of by and large, everything is sort of all the people have now got these little buckets on their head, like breathing pods. Everything is starting to sort of, tilt, and all the people starting to sort of being collected and whatever, and it's all starting to go down. And there's sort of this big fight that's going on between Otto and the captain, which this is where we see finally the first sort of human to get up on his feet after 700 years. And he's like, I'm not doing any of this anymore. This is me. I'm going to do it. No help whatsoever. He finds it really hard just to stand. And then he does sort of the 2001 A Space Odyssey music, like da, 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 and there's a big fight going on. Dre Houston, welcome into the stream. Thank you for being here. Another amazing member of the channel. So glad you're here. And basically, he wins. He puts him, into sort of manual mode. Otto is relieved of duty, as he says. And Wally is still trying to hold up sort of this compartment.
But he doesn't, actually.
His foot slips.
He's crushed.
And Eve is like, right, we need to get this plant into the thing. They pass it all down the line. The umbrella throws it into Eve's sort of hands and throws it straight into the sort of the area where it needs to be in, and it starts to rise again. Drop That Rope says that he loves this movie. If you don't know who dropped that rope, it's RobFuz. So maybe he changed his mind.
Alter ego.
Maybe changed his mind in 30 seconds. So the port starts to rise, and the captain starts doing he does the punch it chewy kind of thing. He does the hyperdrive straight back towards Earth, and he's like, "Ooh, it's great, it's good fun." But Wally is pretty much destroyed. They make it back to Earth. Everyone's just like, "Wow, what is all this?" And they are so sort of immersed by what Earth is, pretty much. The captain's like, we gotta make plants so we can grow like pizza trees and that kind of stuff so we can eat. It's pretty funny. And Eve takes Wally back to his home to try and fix him. Now, for me, this is the most not heartbreaking but emotional part of the film. Because he's a robot, And if you change that for a robot, if you change the memory of a robot, it's different.
Well, that's the thing. She changes out his chip. She changes out his face. She changes out a couple other things. And ultimately, changing out the chip changes out the memory.
It's like Baymax with the healthcare companion and the fighting one. Yeah.
So when she does fix him and he turns back on,
doesn't recognize her.
Back to work because he doesn't know who. Until she holds his hand.
Come on. Come on. Isn't that's the thing that they wanted to do the whole movie, and she's sort of expressing that when she watches the film, and it's just this is why I love this film as a romantic film, and I just think it's such a beautiful film that something like that, where they finally get to hold hands. Yes, okay, it's a bit cliche that, he instantly remembers everything, but this is the thing that he wanted.
Right. It's his connection. It's his constant with her, as I like to call it. If you ever watched Lost, by the way, you'll understand that.
Great show. Another thing we're comparing this film to.
Yeah. But that's his constant with her. That's the thing. That's been his motivation. That's been his goal. That's been what he's wanted to do since he's met her, is always hold her hand. And when it finally happens, it clicks again for him.
Yeah.
And he comes back. And then all the billions of people that were on the Axiom, because that ship is tremendously large, they all get off. And as they pan out over the Earth a little bit, you start to see all the greenery that's been growing, because life has returned to Earth.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how the film ends. And it's interesting.
It is interesting. It's just, it's a very mixed bag. I think people, like we said at the start of the stream, you're either going to love this film or people are not going to like this film. We're going to get into sort of our opinions and our sort of highlight our review now. I'm going to start with you, Walt. So I feel like this may be the first time in a long time we're doing these reviews. We're going to have differences of opinion on this one. What is your sort of conclusion, your review of WALL-E?
Absolutely. First time I saw WALL-E, I didn't like it at all. I was bored by it. I didn't like the concept behind it. It was very boring, not a lot of talking. It just wasn't something that I enjoyed. Sitting down and watching it again this time, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I took it differently this time. I agree with James. Symbolism. I saw the symbolism more now this time than I did before. The writing was better. Do I still think there was some unnecessarily elongated scenes? Yes. Like some of the chase scenes with the robots, we could have cut some of that down. They kind of extended it a little bit that I didn't need. But overall, I understand the story that they were telling. It's I think part of it is because I really connect with it with today's world that we're living in, with less of a do-it-yourself and more of a let everybody else do it kind of thing that we're getting with. I connected with it a lot more, and it was actually kind of scary. A movie from 2008 really connects today. But it was written very, very well. I enjoyed it a lot more this time than I did the second time, because I really watched it and really focused on it and really looked for the different plot points and understood 2008, it wasn't that long ago. I was 38 years old, but right. Still, it just didn't connect with me on that time. I kind of gave up on it too quickly when I watched it. Yeah. This time I didn't. So I liked it a lot more this time. Yeah. Do you want me to give my letter grade? Oh, by the way, for those who don't know, Dan, you want me to say it or you want to say it?
Well, so on Disney Movie Review, we do a letter grade. So if we really love the movie, think it's the best movie we've ever seen, we give it an A+. And it goes all the way down to an F. It's a film that we hated. It's an F. Only one person out of the two of us has given an F before, which was for George of the Jungle. But and kind of like a C is like an average. That's kind of the way I see it. So in the chat, put in the chat where your letter grade. Do you give an A+? Yeah. Do you give it an F? Do you give it a B? Throw it out to us. It's all sort of subjective. There's no right or wrong answer. It's all sort of our personal opinions.
Right, but we want to know what yours is because it's important to us.
So, yep. Walt, what would be your letter grade for WALL-E?
I'm going to give it a B.
Okay.
It gets a B for me, which I think is one of the highest grades I've given out so far. Yep. I enjoyed it a lot more this time than I did the first time. I did. I probably would have given it a C- to a D+ if I hadn't rewatched it. Okay. So I'm glad I did. So it really jumped for me. I don't think it's one of the best Pixar films out there. There are many I'm going to put ahead of it. There's a lot of parts of this movie I think are I don't like, but I do like the overarching theme of it, and I do like their story together, the two of them. There are emotional parts of this. It's going to get a B, maybe maybe even a B- for me, but it still ranks in the B area for me.
Fantastic.
I don't think this film is an A+. There's tons of A+ Pixars that we're going to get to, but I'll give it a B.
Before I give my review and grade, I want to see what's in the chat. Simba says, I loved it. It was heartwarming and the shows Disney Pixar's genius in evoking emotion and communication with words. 100% agree with that. Without words. Yeah, Mo gives it an A+. Absolutely fantastic. KR gives it C+. Matt gives it an A-. Jonathan Trent says, I call it an F-bomb that Walt dropped.
I think it was George of the Jungle.
George of the Jungle. Alex gives it an A+. Drake gives it an A. Kadani gives it a Kadai Shaw gives it a B plus. James Ryan gives it an A plus. Jonathan Chong gives it an A plus. Lots of strong A pluses, B's right here. For me, I love this movie. I've fallen in love with this movie. There's so much that you can correlate to the world as we know it in an emotional level, in a way of life. It is a beautiful romantic film. It is an adventure. The music is fantastic. The script, even though half of it isn't really spoken, the script and the directing is just beautiful. Paula gives it an A. We loved it. I think this film, honestly, it's a masterpiece for me personally. I think this film is one of the best animated films I think ever made, but it's not one of my favorite. I'm going to give it an A. I'm going to give WALL-E an A, which I think is one of my highest grades. For me, I think I've said this in other streams. For it to be an A plus, I have to feel that emotion. I have to be crying or literally just be so invested that nothing in the world matters. So to get given an A is like the next best thing, and I really believe that WALL-E is an A film. It is just a beautiful film. But obviously, everyone has different opinions, so that's totally okay. Avery gives an A plus. My favorite Pixar film, absolutely fantastic, really amazing. Isaac gives it an A, and yeah, I really love this film, and it was great to see this film again. So yeah, that was fun. I really enjoyed it. I really
Look, I'm glad I went. The good thing about this is doing these movie reviews is it gets me to go back to rewatch a movie. Some of them I'm going to go rewatch it and go, nope, just as bad as it was before. Sometimes it's going to be like this one, where it's going to be like, oh, I liked it better this time. Other times it's going to be, yep, just as great as it was. But it's fun to be able to go back. And for some of you that, if you haven't seen some of these films, or if you've seen it and it's been a long time, it's great to be able to go back and relive it. So I'm glad you all did.
And this is kind of like the thing that we love doing. So in a minute, we are going to reveal our next movie for this week. Whatever we pick, go and watch it on Disney Plus, enjoy it, and then come back next week on Walt's channel.
Yep.
And we will review whatever the next movie is. Was James
said that Academy Award win for WALL-E. Of course, it did go up against Bolt and Kung Fu Panda. So
Kung Fu Panda's
it's
okay.
Not like it really went up against anything that was really good.
Bolt and Kung Fu Panda, they're fine films. They're all right, but compared to WALL-E,
that's my point.
All right, here we go. I'll be ready. What do you want this week?
Oh, here we go. Good Lord. Pull, you know me, I like the old live action classics. Pull like Candle Shoe out of there for me.
Candle Shoe. I'll try my best.
Ghost.
So next week on Walt's channel, 6 p.m. Drum roll, please. I've got one. Alrighty. We are going back to Disney Channel.
Oh, Lord.
We are going to be rocking out
Camp Rock?
Camp Rock.
Oh, okay.
We got the Jonas Brothers.
I've seen it.
We've got Demi Lovato. Camp Rock next week. Now, I think we're only going to do the first one.
Yeah, we're only doing the first one.
We'll only do the first one. I actually think, no, the second one's not in the box. Some of them I have put sequels to and some of them I haven't. But Camp Rock is going to be next week on Walt's channel. It's going to be fun. I actually haven't seen this since it came out. So
I've seen it.
I'm excited. I'm very excited. So back to Disney Channel, Camp Rock next week, 6 p.m. on Walt's channel. So Melissa says that one is bad. Simba says, "Oh no."
We'll talk about it next week. Go watch it, everybody. Everybody go watch Camp Rock.
I'm excited for my kids. They loved it.
See?
Camp Rock, do we get a sing-along?
Maybe. We might.
You don't want to hear me sing. You don't want to hear me sing. Did you see the start of the show today? No. Avery says it's not bad. I've seen worse. Cough, cough. Tea beach. Cough, cough. That's in the box as well. So we're good. Sim says Campy Rock. So we're going to be watching Camp Rock 6 p.m. next Sunday on Walt Show. This was fun.
It is.
This was a lot of fun. I love doing these. And 20, we've done 20 of these, and it's just amazing. I love it.
I can't believe it's been 20.
Yeah. How
When's
crazy.
our 1 year anniversary on these? Well, I guess we got a ways to go.
We got a few ways to go. I don't know if it's on your channel, but on my channel, I actually have a playlist of all the reviews. So if you want to go back and watch some of the reviews we've done, such as George of the Jungle, one of my favorites that we've done, Homeward Bound, Beauty and the Beast. Last week we did Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. We've done both Guardians of the Galaxies. Like, we've done so many. So
Cat from Outer Space.
Cat from Outer Space. How can we forget? The Mighty Ducks. We've done so many, and guys, go check. If you haven't checked out any of those, please go check those out. Watch Camp Rock this week and come back next week. It's going to be really, really great. So what's coming up for you, Walt? I know you've had a really busy weekend. You had a great stream today, and especially on Friday as well. It's been a lot of fun. So what's coming up this week on Mouse Talk?
DIZNEYDAN is this Tuesday. I'm not sure exactly what our topic is yet, but we'll come up with something fun. DIZNEYDAN Tuesday night, 8 p.m. I do have a vlog. I'm in the process of editing right now. We went to Give Kids the World for the Night of a Million Lights. It was absolutely phenomenal, very emotional, very wonderful, very beautiful. So I have a vlog coming out for that. I'm sure you guys have probably seen it on some other vlogs, but check ours out too. We have a little bit of a different take on it. That's coming up hopefully today or tomorrow. I'll have it done. And then, of course, next Friday, I'm hoping I have a reservation for Hollywood Studios. So I think we're going to be doing an evening vlog at Hollywood Studios next Friday. I know Resort TV 1 goes live on Friday, so that's why we normally don't, but it was the only day I could get. So if you want to jump over to us or stay with them, whatever. And then next Sunday or at some point next weekend, we'll have another stream for sure. Reservations have been hard this time of year to get. That's been the issue.
But we're looking forward to it. We're looking for DIZNEYDAN this week and your vlogs and the live streams for sure. James Rice says Camp Rock, wow, from Wally to the planned world of mediocrity. But I'll watch. Maybe it has grown on me. Paula Rainwood says you need to have Keely on too. She knows Camp Rock in and out. Look, Keely, if you want to join us, please feel free to join us. We would love to have you on to do the review with us if you really would like to. You can reach out to Walter and I if you would like. And these reviews are not just for Walt and I's doing. We would love special guests to join us. If you really love these films, let us know, and you can come and review the film with us. Absolutely. What else have we got? Rachel Loves Disney, welcome into the stream. Thank you for being here. Alex Kinnett, welcome in. I missed it. I'm sad now. Alex, dude, in like 3 minutes, you'll be able to watch the replay and you've no problem whatsoever. So thank you for being here, buddy. Another member of the channel. You're awesome. Thank you. But yeah, so that's gonna be fun. As for me, I think I've got a vlog coming out this week. I'm going to keep it a little bit of a hush-hush because I think it's going to be a little bit different, a little bit creative. Hopefully I can surprise a few of you with a vlog this week. Dad Bills, welcome into the stream.
Hey,
so
Dad,
good to see you. Sorry, I was like, no problem at all. Thank you for being here. Really means a lot. Disney Fiasco episode 115 will be on next Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern, and then obviously we'll be back on Walt's channel for Camp Rock next Sunday at 6 p.m. And that's about it. So, guys, this was so much fun. Go watch Camp Rock this week. We're going to review that next week. You guys are the best. You can follow both Walt on Mouse Talk on his social media. Subscribe to Walt's channel, Mouse Talk, and Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. And for me, DIZNEYDAN, obviously, Twitter, Instagram as well. And that's about it, guys. Thank you so much. Have a great week.
Have a great week, everybody.
We'll see you all real soon. Goodbye.